I swear to God, for beat, this is what he did. He unzips the little case, right? And he pulls out a Nintendo Switch. So I think one thing that a lot of you guys may not know about me, because we do a lot of PlayStation on this YouTube channel, is that I actually enjoy Mario Kart a lot. Not just like, oh, I enjoy Mario Kart, but I'm actually quite good at it. I play a lot of it. Or at least as good as you can get at Mario Kart until the typical bullshit of that game starts to show up. Because it's a pretty cheap game inherently. But if you're, in the modern Mario Karts, if you're doing a lot of drifting, drafting, and picking up coins, I mean, you can still consistently get in first place and win a lot of races, and I'm quite good at the game, I'll admit it. But this is a story about how one kid seemed a little too overly confident, and but anyway, so here's what happened. So I used to, my last girlfriend, we did this thing where we went to Anthrocon, and Anthrocon is a convention for people that are into anthropomorphics, or more commonly known as furries, the people that like to dress up as animals and get in full fur costumes and really get into all that jazz. And at the time, this girl that I was with, she had a friend that likes to go to Anthrocon and sell stuff there, like, because it's a convention, so there's a vendor area where people can sell a lot of things, and this friend of hers liked to do little home crafts and stuff like that. She made a lot of really cool things, but so she liked to go to Anthrocon and sell stuff there. And so she approached her, and obviously then my at the time girlfriend approached me and said, well, so here's the deal. She wants to go to Anthrocon, again, because she always does, and we can join with her. We can split a hotel room, and it'll just be a cheaper hotel room. So the initial idea there was that me and her would go with her friend, and we would just enjoy the city of Pittsburgh as kind of a vacation, and she can enjoy a cheap hotel rate while she's working the show. But she also said, like, hey, when you come, I can get you badges to go in and stuff if you want to check out the place, because there's kind of, there's a little bit of crossover there. I mean, people that like to do that kind of stuff is still somewhat associated with, like, kind of the nerd world, you know what I mean? So there's, like, there was video game stuff and things like that there as well. In fact, that's actually where I got those copies of Ruby and Sapphire, in pristine condition. I even talked the guy down, and I got those from the vendor area at Anthrocon. But yeah, so Anthrocon was actually very interesting. I don't judge these people at all. If you're into that kind of stuff, cool. That's all well and good. I actually met a number of interesting people there, and I even met a viewer there, which was awesome. Shout out to Gadath. And so one area of Anthrocon was because there's a bunch of panels and things like that, and I actually probably got another story from Anthrocon that I could probably tell for another one. But they had one little section where it was just a conference room full of video games, and it was a game center, right? So they had a bunch of TVs set up, a bunch of game consoles, and it was just a place for people to show up, hang out, and play video games. And so they had stuff like Street Fighter, good lord, I can't even think of it. Tekken, just a bunch of games, right? They had tons of Smash TVs set up. They had one TV set up for Mario Kart. And I think at this point it was like later in the night. It was like maybe around 10 or 11, maybe close to 12, but it was late. And we were running in a group with, it was me, my at the time girlfriend, my ex, and there was two other dudes we were with. I forget how we met them, but they were really nice. These two guys were really cool. So we were just kind of walking around together. And so we were exploring the game room. We found the Mario Kart setup, and we were like, oh, we should all play. So we go to the front desk to get the controllers, because you obviously gotta give them some collateral so you don't run off with the controllers or anything. We get all set up. We're all four of us are playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. We're having a good time. At one point, my ex was like, she wasn't that into Mario Kart. She wasn't that into, and she was getting her ass beat. So that's the thing, too, is that we had done a few races already. And I was winning quite handedly. These other two guys weren't the best at it either. So it was basically just me winning first place. We maybe did like 3 or 4 races like that, and then she decided to leave, and she was like, all right, well, I'll go, because right outside the convention center was like a little strip of like, a few hotels, a few bars. She's like, I'm going to go to the bar, and I'm going to hang out there for a little bit, so you can meet up with me after. I said, fine, that's cool. So then it's me and these two dudes playing more Mario Kart. I'm winning. And so then this kid approaches us, and he's got. Let me paint a picture for this guy. A very nerdy looking guy. He's got fingerless gloves. He's got a backpack. He's got longer hair. But he was. I'm not trying to demean the guy. He was a very nice guy, actually. He was totally cool. But he had a backpack on, right? So he, turns over the backpack. He's looking, dead at us, and he pulls out a little case, and I swear to God, for beat, this is what he did. He unzips the little case, right? And he pulls out a Nintendo Switch, and without skipping a beat, he just does this. Mind if I join you guys? Like, you can't make that shit up, So I was like, oh, all right, this is rather interesting. But I'm nice. I was like, yeah, dude, take a seat. We'll get you all set up. I'm thinking in the back of my mind, all right, I have no problem dishing out some more ass whoopings. So we get him synced up to the game. And as we're talking a little bit and we're getting to know each other, you can tell this was like the kind of dude that maybe thought that he was approaching a group of casual players. Maybe we just didn't have that look to us or something. I don't know. But you could tell, you could pick up on his demeanor. Like, he seemed to approach this with a certain level of confidence. That, I'll give it to the guy. He certainly had a level of confidence. And actually, he was quite good. He was consistently number 2. Your boy Ryan was still winning pretty much every race. I think we did maybe 8 or 9 races. And actually, he did win, I want to say 2, but I don't remember the second one. I remember what track he won the first one on. And the only way he won those races, if he did win 2, but the only way he won the one race was the typical Mario Kart bullshit, where it was like, I think the computer AI, 7 spots down, used a blue shell, and it was already near the 3rd lap, so there's really, nothing I can do at that point. And that's another thing that you maybe don't know about me, is that while I love Mario Kart, it brings out the absolute worst in me. And I often go on a crazy rant about, oh, God fucking damn it, I hate that goddamn blue shell. How does that help guy? All it does is help guy number 2. How does it help guy number 8 and 9? Because that's the only time you really ever get the blue shell, is if you're doing that bad. It doesn't really help you whatsoever. It just changes 1st and 2nd place. But that was a fun time. That was actually a really good night. And what I learned from going to Anthrocon and hanging out with some of those guys is that while the city of Pittsburgh was beautiful and awesome, and there was a lot of cool restaurants and things, because that's still the majority of what we did when we went to Pittsburgh, was just enjoy the city of Pittsburgh. Anthrocon was kind of an afterthought, but it became more of an afterthought because we actually had a very good time, and hey, I got a pretty cool, weird story out of it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that story. I have some more Nintendo stories to share with you later on. I will be filming those soon, and we'll have a good time. And please share your Nintendo stories with me, because I think that's what's special about Nintendo, is that everybody's probably got a Nintendo story, and I would certainly love to hear yours. But that's all for this video, and I'll see you all in my next one. Take it easy.